Good evening, believers. How are you doing today? I hope that you're doing well. I'm getting better. You hear my voice is almost all the way back. Had a little cold this week, little allergies or something, but I am feeling better. I can actually talk to you today without getting out of breath, so should be a good one today. Hi there, come on in. Say hey to me. I see you over there. Hey Laura, Libra honey. I see you over there on Instagram. Everybody on Facebook, give me some likes, give me some love. Say hey. Let me know that you're here. Let me refresh that so I can see everything. All right, fabulous, wonderful. All right, y'all. Make sure if this is the first time you are coming and seeing me on Facebook, or you hadn't done it before, go to StreamYard.com/Facebook and allow Facebook to see your name on my screen, so I don't have to I'll keep switching back and forth anyway. But yeah, makes it a little bit easier. I won't miss anybody then. All right. All righty, y'all. Good stuff. I'm a little late. Sorry about that. Had to get myself all set up here. My desk is getting delivered tomorrow, so it'll be a little different setup the next time we do this. But for the time being, I am here. I am with you. Let me see. Who's saying hey, hey? Let me open that up. Over here. All right. Hey, Angela. Christina, I see you. Hi, y'all. Glad that you're here with me. Make sure my volume is down on my computer. Hold on. All right. Fantastic. All right. So tell me first, how did it go with not asking any questions this week? Were you able to do it? Was anybody able to pull that off? Not asking a single solitary question this week? Let me know. Right? 11 you got over here from Instagram. All right. Fabulous. We can all be over here. All right. How did you do with the challenge this week? It is a very challenging thing. It starts to actually change the way your mind works if you're not asking a question all the time. In the middle of trauma, your brain will try and make you ask a million questions. It wants all the information about everything that it could possibly get information on, and it's not always necessarily helpful. It might just be a whole bunch of interrogation. It might be asking a whole bunch of questions that you don't even really need to know the answer to, but you just want to see if they'll tell the truth. All right. So as you're stopping doing that, you are getting back in control of your brain. You're telling your brain, we don't need to ask all those questions. That's a little intrusive. That's a little much. We're not going to do that right now. And you start to retrain your brain on how to have a conversation with them. All right. I see everybody coming on in. Come on. See, I'm glad you're here with me. Christine, you say you lost the next morning. I know, it's so hard to do. You don't even realize it until it's like out of your mouth. You're like, oh, shit, that was a question. Angela said, didn't ask any questions all week? All week. Did you really not ask any questions all week? You know I'm going to ask your husband, Angela. You know we can check with him about that and see if you ask no questions. If you didn't ask any questions all week, Angela, hit me up, and I promise that if you were able to pull through and no questions for the entire week, I'd do a week with you of tech support. So hit me up. If you really did make it an entire week with no questions, come on and message me, and I promise we'll do a week of tech support. I will be here with you. Ask me all the questions that you want to ask, all right? Trisha, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey. Athena, I see you. Hey. I'm glad that you're with me, y'all. All right. So, of course, we're going to start like we always start. We got to start with the basics because people will forget the basics. I don't want you to be forgetting those basics, okay? Oh, Angela, you say he's sitting right there. He said no questions. Hot damn, you did a good job. How was it? Was it difficult? It's a little bit difficult to do. It's really hard for me because I'm a Gemini and I love to ask a question, but just the idea of just getting back in control of your brain and saying, no, I'm not going to do that right now. It is like, it's cathartic. It's like, oh, I do have control over my brain. My brain doesn't run this. I do. All right. So we're going to start with the basics because we always got to start with the basics. I always want to remind you of the basic things that you can do that are going to make you feel better, all right? So the first thing, always do your deep breathing. Have you been doing your deep breathing? Come on now. If you haven't been doing your deep breathing, you are doing yourself a disservice. You need to be doing that on a regular basis, because if you've been handling a stressor, a trauma, we need to start bringing that anxiety level down a bit. Bringing it down a few pegs, making it like a level that you can manage on a day-to-day basis, instead of like this astronomical thing that is overwhelming you all the time, all right? Sorry about that. So we need to bring that anxiety level down, and deep breathing is one of the proven easiest ways to start to bring that anxiety level down. We do 4-7-8 breathing. Doesn't matter what pattern you do. I don't care if you want to do a different one, that's cool. But I like 4-7-8. It kind of throws you just enough so that you're paying attention, and your mind has to engage to remember, okay, this one's 4, this one's 7, this one's 8. All right? And he said, Angela, you said, no, I just stayed busy, and anytime I thought about it, I found something to do to get my mind off of it. Fantastic. See, you are in control of your brain. Sometimes it doesn't feel like that, but you are in control of what you do, what you say, even what you think. Your brain will do things on autopilot on a regular basis, but if you are mindful, if you're paying attention, if you are there, you can decide what you're going to do instead of just letting your brain kind of take over and do what it wants. So very good job. I will do a week with you of tech support. You can text me anytime, chat with me, all right? All right, so doing our deep breathing. Everybody join on in with my deep breathing. What we're going to do is we're going to blow out, exhale, and deflate your lungs. So you're going to inhale for a count of 4. Hold that breath for a count of 7. Then you're going to blow out like you're blowing out birthday candles for a count of 8. This is a very simple technique, brings a lot of anxiety down, gets you back in control of your breath when your brain wants to take it over and make you go into fight or flight mode and make your breathing shallow and not very productive, okay? Hey, Trish, I see you, girl. Hey! So what we are going to do is we're going to do our deep breathing. You said not your stubborn Aries brain. Christina, I'm trying to tell you, I'm a Gemini. My brain it operates in questions. You see, if you get, did we talk? Christina, did we talk yet? I don't know if we talked. I can't remember. But I ask a ton of questions when I get on with people on Zoom. I'm asking a bunch of questions. So that's just the way my brain operates. But when you're talking to your mate, it's a little bit different. You can't be interrogating them the whole time you're talking. All right, so we're going to do our deep breathing. Everybody ready? You ready to do it with me? Come on, do the deep breathing. All right, we're going to blow out. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, and blow out again for a count of 8. If you had never done this before, it may be a little difficult the first time, but do it with us a couple of times. We're going to do it 3 times in a row. You're going to have it by the 3rd time, all right? So what we're going to do is blow out. Inhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4. Hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last time, inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold it, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blow out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. How does it feel when you're doing your deep breathing? Doesn't it feel a little bit better? Some people get a little bit more alert. Some people get a little bit sleepy. If you have been struggling and you do this deep breathing and all of a sudden your brain gets some oxygen, it might get a little tired. If you have been, in the situation where you've been resting a lot, you've been laying down a lot, but you hadn't been doing these deep breaths, you do these deep breathing exercise that feeds your brain that oxygen, all of a sudden you're alert. All of a sudden you're like, oh, hey, I can get up, I can move, I can do some stuff. So it's very interesting. It affects people differently, but deep breathing is always going to work for just about any situation. If you were having a hard time, if you were in a situation, if you were having pain in any way, shape, or form, mental or physical, do some deep breathing. It will help you. Giving your body excess oxygen is always helpful. It's always good for you, all right? All right, fabulous. Now, the next thing that you can always do on your own is do your journaling. Have you been doing your journaling? Have you? I know people have been saying that they've been picking up a journal now. If you've been picking up a journal, use it, okay? We need to do this at least twice a day, 5 minutes. You don't need like an entire book. You don't need to write 15 pages to have this be an effective thing to do for your trauma. If you are writing about 5 minutes in the morning when you first get up, thinking about how your day is going to go, deciding how your day is going to go, if you write it down, be like, I'm going to have a good day today. I'm not going to freak out. And if something triggers me, I'm going to handle it well. And this is what I'm going to do. Basic stuff. If you just write that down first thing in the morning, you'll already have a plan for the day. And then at night, when you're getting ready to go to bed, you're trying to relax, you're trying to rest, you're trying to go to sleep, it's great to get that stuff out of your head. So yeah, I wasn't necessarily successful at following through with the plan today, but I was aware that I was triggered and I was able to ask for some help in a different way than I thought I was. You can just write that down, keep track of those things. It reminds you that, yeah, sometimes you're not gonna win, but you're gonna have evidence of days that you won in your journal. I always put a star, put a smiley face, put something up in the corner to say, hey, this was a good day, so that you can just flip through that journal and be like, hey, there was pretty good days in here, even though I feel like there weren't too many. Your trauma will tell you that nothing is good in your life. So if you're writing down the good stuff, you can prove that wrong. Also, you need your date, your time, your level of anxiety in your journal. Date and time so that you can refer back to it. Like if there are patterns to a time of day that you particularly have a hard time with, a day of the week, a particular month, you'll know that because it's in your journal. And then your level of anxiety, 0 to 10. 0 is no anxiety whatsoever. All is right with the world. You are at peace. Everything is lovely. And then and write that down too. If you're at a 0 in first thing in the morning or at night before you're getting ready to go to bed, write it down. Hey, I am at 0. I am feeling good. Things are going well. I'm all right. And then there's a 10. 10 is a loss of control. 10 is I'm going to rip my hair out, tear my clothes off, run screaming down the street naked because I am out of control of myself. This is just too much for me. Chances are, if you're at a 10, you're not sitting down journaling. But, you could be about a 9, but you're probably not a 10. So that's a good thing to know. It gives you a fence around these feelings. These feelings can only get so big. Your feelings are there to serve you. They are not there to make you miserable, and they are not there to run your life. They are there to give you information. They are not there to just completely take over and make your life a living hell. So what we have to do is we have to be back in control of those feelings and tell our bodies and our brains that, no, I'm okay. No, I don't need you to freak out right now. I'm going to be all right. All right? Doesn't matter what you use for a journal. Let's see. Hey, I got a journal right here. Look, itty bitty. This came from the Dollar Tree. They were like 3 in a pack. You can use those. This one is an itty bitty one too, but a little bit more sophisticated looking. It's got a button and everything. And this was one of my own journals. Huh? Forgot about that one. All right, so It doesn't matter what you write in, just as long as you write. Sit down, connect that pen to your brain, and pour some of this stuff out onto your paper, okay? And then what's another thing that you can do all on your own to feel better is to have a practice of gratitude, to feel good about things in your life. Your trauma will tell you that there is nothing good going on in your life. Your trauma is lying to you. It is lying when it says that. It says nothing is ever good. Everything is miserable. You're just unhappy all the time. That is not so. And you know that that's not so, but the trauma will try and convince you of it so that you kind of give up. And we don't need to give up now, do we? We don't want to give up. We want to make sure that we're having the life that we want to live. So developing a practice of gratitude will help you to fight back against those negative thoughts that the trauma automatically produces. If you are consistently thinking about things that are good going on, you're fighting back against that natural inclination to go towards the negative, and then you can pull yourself back from the edge a little bit. So we got good news. We got good stuff for Thirsty Thursday because you all appreciate some good news. I love that. All right, let's see what we got. We've got Angela. Angela, so you're doing good this week. You got some free tech support from me. You said you got the motorcycle fixed and you've been out riding all over today. I know that's right. We love to just get on it and go. We call it wind therapy. I know that's right. Plus, Saturday I had a company request for me to apply for a job they have open. Okay. Initial interview Tuesday and have been asked to go in for the final interview tomorrow. Me and hubby have loved not working this last month, but now it's time to start looking for jobs. I know, right? Got a little break. It was fun. Y'all got to hang out a little bit, but yeah, got to get back to the regular life. But I am so glad that you got to ride your motorcycle. I am so glad that you all are doing well. You're feeling good together. Great news. All right, Stephanie and Jenny. Hey, Jenny. Stephanie and Jenny both said they're getting better at the obsessive text, not doing that all the time. When you have been going through this type of trauma, sometimes you'll end up reaching out to them in a kind of an over-the-top way. You want to reach out to them, you want to text, you want to call all the time just to make sure they're not talking to the other person, just to see if they want to talk to you because your insecurities are bubbling over and they're telling you, oh, well, he doesn't really want to talk to you. Text him. I bet you he didn't even respond to you. And then you're texting as a test instead of just as some love. So that is excellent. I'm glad, Jenny and Stephanie, I am glad that you're getting better, not being so obsessive about those texts, not being over the top with it, because you start to look a little creepy when you're doing that. You start to look a little stalkerish. You're like, answer me. Why aren't you talking to me? I'm like, dude, I just saw you this morning. Like, what are we texting about? I don't need to text you. I'm not going to have anything to say to you when I see you if I text you all day. But good. I'm glad that you're getting better at that. Brittany said, we celebrated his birthday yesterday and spent most of the day pampering ourselves and being present and in the moment. Ooh, I love that. A much needed reset. We ended the day with our oldest football game, a win in overtime. You was winning all day. I know that's right. You were winning, left and right. I am with you on that. Fabulous. I'm glad that happened for you, Brittany. And Caroline, I don't know. I put my ring back on. Oh, come on, Caroline. That's what I'm talking about. After listening to the healing out, I try and do my best. And it was really nice to see how happy he was about it. He is going to be thrilled. You don't want him walking around with no ring on now, do you? No, you don't. So you make sure that you're wearing your ring. If you are a married woman, behave like a married woman. Even if you are angry, even if you are sad, even if you feel like, oh, well, our whole marriage was just a lie, was just a sham, and these rings just represent broken promises. They don't. These rings represent the state of mind that you were in, that you were going to be able to conquer the freaking world together. That's what these rings represent. It represents all of the bad times and all of the good times that you were anticipating that you were going to go through together. This is one of them. This is exactly what the entire relationship was going to be coming down to, was you having good times and bad times. And that's not, you don't have to start all over again. You don't have to have a whole reset and have a whole new marriage. That is exactly what you already vowed to do, was get past these hard times together. So I'm very glad you put your ring back on. Now, I am not opposed to getting new rings. I am eventually getting a new engagement band. I'm not gonna change my my wedding band itself, but I'm gonna eventually get a little sparkle, a little diamond added, a little upgrade on my engagement ring. I fully believe in women having new diamonds. I am fully for that, but I'm saying that your wedding ring is really still your wedding ring, no matter where you are in this process. All right. I love every bit of that. Thank you all so much for so much good news for Thirsty Thursday. You want to share the good, okay? Hey, Stephanie, I see you over there on Instagram. Hey. You want to share the good. You want to make sure that you're putting the good out there in the world and telling your brain, hey, there is not only bad going on. There is good stuff that has happened in our lives. There is good stuff still happening in our lives. And I've got to appreciate every single solitary minute of it. Stay present. Stay present, as Brittany said, just be in the moment and enjoy the fact that something good has happened. You don't get good all the time, but hell, as much as you can, enjoy it. All right. And then one last thing that you can do. Now I'll let you go from the questions, but last thing that you can do that is going to make you feel a little bit better. Instead of asking terrible questions about the details, the whole full disclosure thing, and finding out all these details about what happened with him and when and how he was feeling and all of this stuff that is just going to hurt your feelings and not actually help you heal, but only give your brain more ammunition to use against you, you can use these questions, which are a little bit better. These are the questions from the Healing Edition. This is from theskindeep.com, and they have several editions of them. I think they're like $25 for a set, but it is a very large stack of cards, so it's worth it. Look at that. Look how many cards there are. You can be playing this for decades, messing around, and probably wouldn't even keep coming across the same questions. But what I want you to do is, instead of asking those questions, the questions that make you crazy, the questions that make you feel sad when you get the answer and you don't want to really know, let's ask some better questions. Let's ask some things that'll get you a little closer, all right? So, let me give you a few of these. What do I always carry with me that you recommend I let go of, and why? Ooh, boy. What do I always carry with me that you recommend I let go of, and why? What do I always carry with me that you recommend I let go of, and why? I know that's right. And you know what he's going to say. You know exactly what he's going to say. And I would say it too. You don't have to carry this with you, okay? Erica Badu said, bag lady, you're going to hurt your back dragging all them bags like that. You don't have to carry this with you forever and ever. You can put that baggage down and walk away from it. You really honestly can. I promise you, it is definitely possible. And I want you to practice it. Even if it's only setting it down and walking a couple of steps. Try it, okay? All right, let's see. Who's that? Christina said, I'm still 9.5, but I rearranged my whole house and have a new dining room and bedroom set coming this weekend. Ooh, yay. And I'm leaving with him on the road for Florida on Monday. Fingers crossed we have a reconnecting good time. I know that's right. Hey, Don't put any expectations on it. Just expect that you are going to be pleasant company. You're going to have fun. You're not going to be poking at him while you're stuck in the car driving together. Let's not talk about negative stuff. Not talk about it, even healing. Let's talk about regular stuff. Let's play the radio and sing together and have a real good car trip, good time. Okay. All right. All right. The second one. When was the last time you healed through me? It's an interesting question. When was the last time you healed through me? I think my husband would have some times that he's healed through me, and I've had some times where I've healed through him too. That's the whole point. I think if you are in a relationship with somebody long term, you end up getting to heal those big holes, those big problems that you have, those old traumas, the childhood stuff. You get to do it because you have somebody who loves you unconditionally, and so you feel free to open up and actually heal some of that old stuff. And one more time, what are 3 things you wish for me? Ooh, that's a nice one. What's something nice you wish for your honey? Post it in the comments. What's something nice that you would wish for your boo coming up here? Let me know in the comments. All right. But yeah, Christina, that's some good Thirsty Thursday right there. I'm glad that you're going to have some fun. I'm glad that you're going to go do something together that is not focused on the hurt. All right. We got to do stuff that's good. People will get mad and say that, oh, well, he's trying to act like nothing ever happened. No, that's actually the way you heal stuff. We got to move forward. If you keep dwelling on it, you don't heal from it. If you keep sitting there with it, going over it and over and over again in your head, thinking about it, agonizing over it, you don't really get over it. If you just go ahead and start to move, you start to go in the direction of, okay, I'm going to feel better. I might not feel better right this second, but I'm going to move in that direction, then you're going to get there faster. But hun, I know we get told as women we're supposed to sit and talk about it, and it's supposed to be completely talked out so that we can get past it. We don't need that. We really don't. I promise you. What you need to do is start to make those moves, start making good stuff happen, allow the healing to happen. Like I say in the dreams formula, you've got to actually start to let some of that good stuff happen instead of saying, oh, well, before the good stuff can happen, we have to talk about it until I'm done talking about it. You're never going to be done talking about it, okay? All right. Destiny, hey, I wish him inner peace, confidence, and happiness. I know that's right. I know that's right. Well, what are some things that you can do? Be thinking about those things too. What could you do to help with peace? What could you be doing to help with confidence? And what could you be doing to help with happiness? Because if you're going to grant a wish, all right, let's say that you are the fairy godmother and you can grant wishes, then that means that you can actually do something about it. So, like, be thinking about that. Like, what can I do to give him more confidence? What can I do to give him a little bit more peace? What can I do to make things happier in our vicinity? If you want to grant the wish, you really can do it. All right? All right. Let's go on to questions. We got questions. There's lots of questions. Good stuff in here, too. All right. Let me open this up. Let me see all the comments. There we go. All right. I'm going to go to the one from inside the event first. Let's go with that one. Oh, so many. Oh, I love all the questions. And if you all have questions for me, let me know. Message, put in the comments, and I will answer everybody's question that comes today. Also, don't forget, you can still sign up to get some one-on-one time with me. You can still sign up to get on a Zoom call with me. And as a matter of fact, we're like maybe 100 people away from 5,000 people in the group. And since we're going to hit that milestone, I'm going to extend it out a little bit. So I was going to just do it all the way up until October 7th, but I think I'm going to expand it Oh, let's see. Let's look at the calendar. Let's say I'll do calls until the 21st. Let's give it another month because we're going to have 5,000 in here. And I'm super proud that this group has grown so much, that you all are sharing about love after cheating and telling your friends about it and telling other people in other groups about it. You guys are amazing. You really are. And you all have made it so that there's like at least 100 people coming in every single week trying to get some help, trying to get in this group with women who are doing the same thing they are. They are staying, they are working on it, they are trying to get past this in their relationship. So I'm very proud of all of you, and I'm very proud of this group. So I'm going to extend out the Zoom calls that I'm doing. All right, let's see. I gotta extend the hours on the thing though. I haven't put it up there yet. So give me a minute. After we do the live, I'll post it up here because I'll fix it and add a few more days. All right, so Layla's the first question. Let's see. Layla said, how do you learn to trust your wayward spouse again and when you thought the relationship was okay? It wasn't great, but I had no idea what he was doing outside of our relationship for years. It's shaking me to the core, and I'm having a hard time believing it could just stop on a dime. Well, Layla, it absolutely can just stop on a dime. People just can stop doing the wrong thing. They just can. It's hard. Yeah, sometimes that is difficult, and it's very difficult to believe that they have just stopped after they've been doing it for so long. In this situation, okay, trust is like a muscle. Trust is something that you have to exercise. Just like if you want to get your arms more toned, you're going to use those weights. You're going to build it up with increasing weight. You're going to get that resistance going, and you're going to make that muscle stronger. Same thing that's going to happen with trusting them. It's going to be every little thing. Okay, can I trust them right now? I don't want to trust them right now, but I'm going to choose to trust them right now. The not wanting to is the resistance. That's the weight. That is the weight in your grip. So what you have to do is decide, okay, I'm going to use this weight instead of just saying, okay, well, fine, I'm just not going to trust you. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to work against that weight. That weight is saying that I don't want to do this. I don't want to trust, but I want a trusting relationship. So I'm going to do the exact opposite of what the fear is telling me to do. I'm going to go ahead and give my trust on this one thing at this one time. And then you just try that on small things. You just keep on going. You keep testing it. You keep pushing it. You keep using that resistance to make yourself stronger and stronger. Does that make sense to everybody? Let me know if that sounds crazy, but that's basically what it is. To be able to trust again, you have to decide to trust again, and then every little opportunity that you have to trust, you try and give trust. That's what it is. People think that trust is like earned. I know that's a big thing. Well, trust is earned. Trust was not earned. He didn't earn your trust, okay? You wanted to trust him because you loved him. And that's perfectly okay. You have the choice of who you love and who you trust. Sorry, you have that choice. And so you can make that choice again. This person was your choice. You decided to trust them back when you didn't even know that much about them. And so now you know a whole lot more about them, and you know that they are capable of doing the wrong thing, which everybody is. And you know how you have had this relationship, how you all have been okay. Things have been all right with you. You didn't have any feeling like, oh, he's just out doing anything crazy. So you had that trust before. You just got to go back to the fact that you had it and go ahead and believe in yourself. Just because he misplaced your trust on this one thing doesn't mean that he will always misplace your trust. Hope that makes sense. Let me know. Let me check, make sure anybody's got any questions. All right. Next thing is Alexandra. Oh yeah, Alexandra. We were just going to talk about this. Can we discuss disclosures? Oh, Alexandra, I really wish you wouldn't do the disclosure thing. I really do. I know everybody says, oh, you need that. You have to have all that. But I honestly feel like doing the disclosure thing is just, I just want to see if you'll tell me the truth now. Even though knowing those details is going to traumatize you more. It is. It's not going to help you. It's going to make you feel worse. It's going to give your imagination way more fuel to work with, and your brain is going to use that against you every time you're trying to heal. Every detail is going to be thrown back in your face by your own brain in order to make you so you don't get close. It's going to make you want to back away. So I am not big for, oh, find out all the questions, find out all the answers. The people that I've been talking to, especially I've been doing Zoom calls, I did a few today, they're like, yo, it didn't work. It didn't help. It didn't do anything. Yeah, now I know. Now I got this awful information in my brain, and it didn't help me actually heal. It didn't help me actually make the decision to stay. If you're going to have the decision made that you're going to stay, there's no need to keep on piling on and making yourself miserable with all that information. Let me finish the question. It says, husband will be starting one. I told him I expect it to be many, many pages. Oh, God, no. Oh, God. I'm definitely not writing it down so that you have it and that you'll be sitting there rereading it over and over and over again and making yourself miserable. No, don't do that. All right. Initially, he told me there was no kissing with the I guess that's 5 or with the coworkers, with the 5 coworkers. Then last night he said they may have been kissing on the neck and the body. I can't take this trick or treat. Don't ask. Stop asking him questions like that. You do not want to have the imaginary picture of his lips on somebody else. You don't need that. That is not necessary for you to heal. For you to sit there and try and be in the room when it happened, it would have traumatized you to be there. It's gonna traumatize you to hear all the details about it. Oh, and what position was she in, and where were her legs, and where were your hands? You do not need that. Alexandra, I'm telling you, don't do it. It's going to be torture, and you're going to use it to torture him. So you don't need to do it. It's not going to help. You have already decided to stay. Screw all of that truth thing. Okay, you got as much truth as you need. You know he has cheated. You know that. You don't need all the minute details. You don't need it. Hey, Gina, I see you over there on Instagram. Hi, girl. But Layla, you said you're at the same stage too. I know there are lots of questions. I know that your brain is screaming for you to answer all these questions, but it is a trick. Your brain on trauma wants information so that it can try not to have you be hurt again. But the problem with that is all that information is hurtful. Number one. And then once your brain has that information, it will randomly lob grenades of those imaginary pictures at you when you're trying to heal and you're trying to have a good day with him. It's going to try and ruin it every single solitary time. I say don't do it. I say do not do that whole full disclosure. Here's every single solitary detail of every single solitary thing I did. And here, let me create this full word picture in your brain so that you can never get rid of it. No, don't do it, okay? if you listen to me on anything at all, seriously, don't do it, Alexandra, okay? Everybody, I recommend it to everyone. Do not sit there and do that to yourself. It's going to make you miserable. All right. Destiny said, I understand not stewing and continuing to talk about it, but I can't move forward if you can't look at me in the face and admit to the level of crazy I have been living in. How long now? Some form of accountability. That's not wrong to expect. It feels so disrespectful to not. I mean, is he telling you that you're crazy? That you're crazy? He knows that it was crazy. But, do you want to sit there and admit when you're terribly wrong? Most people don't want to do that. He's, okay, what do you mean that, all right, but I can't move forward if he can't look me in the face and admit to the level of crazy I've been living in for how long now? That's a kind of a difficult thing, especially if he was emotionally volatile at the moment, and he wasn't totally in control of his own self, then yeah, he may have a hard time being like, okay, yeah, I can see how all of this was crazy to you. He was living in it, he was swirling in it, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for him to say that. But he does realize that he was wrong, right? He is trying to work it out with you, isn't he? Let me know, Destiny. Because you're like some form of accountability. A miserable wife is accountability, okay? I promise you, we are enough accountability all by ourselves. When we are miserable, that is plenty of punishment. And then when we are willing to love and trust and forgive again, that is where they want to have some accountability. They're like, this person really does love me. They really do want to come through this with me. I am going to try and make sure that they know that they made the right decision. But if you just want to be miserable all the time, then they might end up doing it again, because they're like, well, I was never going to be forgiven anyway. We're always going to be miserable anyhow, so I might as well be guilty if you're going to always see me as guilty. Let me know, though. Deborah said it has been 11 years since D-Day. 11 years, really? And my husband and I still haven't had a heart-to-heart about his affairs, because in the midst of disclosure, he lost his brother, his best friend, and his father. And then the next year, he lost another friend, and I lost my mother. Oh, good Lord. So I just never brought the subject up again. I feel that I need some closure. How can I broach the subject with him after all these years when he thinks it's all done and dusted? Okay, it is, Deborah. It is. You are the one that can give yourself closure. Nobody gives you closure. People are very wrong about that. They think that closure has to come from like a conversation with somebody else. Somebody else has to give you closure. Deborah, you don't need him to give you closure. It is 11 years later. You have moved on. You have gotten past it. What more can you know? And you're asking, like, 11 years later, you're asking him, okay, dude, they don't remember anything. Like, you want him to remember like details from like 11 years ago. So then if he says, okay, I don't know, I don't remember that, then you're going to be mad about it. Because, well, how can you not remember? Because it wasn't as important to him as it was to you. It was an affair. It was done. It was over 11 years ago. He's not going to remember all the details. You're the one that's still stuck there. You don't need him for closure. You just need to accept the fact that life has gone on since then. You all have experienced things together. You have had losses together. You have continued to live your life together. There's no need to go backwards. Your life isn't back that way. Life is this way, okay? Stay going forward, Deborah. Promise you, it's not going to come from him. If you want closure, you get closure. Write a letter. Do something, write something, and burn it, and let those feelings go. But you're not going to get that closure from him. You all have gone through all of life after that. You don't need to try and get him to do that. Hopefully that works. Hopefully you can understand that. But yeah, 11 years later, no. What details are you going to know now that will help you about then? It's not going to help. Destiny, hopefully his meds kick in soon and I can stop the miserable. If you need the meds, go for the meds. I was a nurse for 20 years. I am fully on board with taking medication if you need it. But you can also stop the miserable on your own too. You really can. Let's see. Christina, you got a question up here. Hey. It said, okay, first off, I'll be honest, and I lost the no asking questions the very next morning, so I decided to try again, and I lost that day. It's hard, but I am hoping you'll have something for the anger that is inside of me, and I can't let go of it. I've tried breathing, I've been doing my journaling, and I've been reading healing books. Name it all, trying it all. Is there something stronger? Because my brain sure isn't listening to my heart and my conscience. I love him. But I am starting to think the pain is just too much to bear. I know it will hurt if he leaves as well, but sometimes I feel like at least if he is not here, the pain will eventually go away. Will it go away if he is here? Because as much as I feel like he is trying, I don't trust him. And sometimes just looking at him, the pain just keeps eating at me. All right, you got to battle the pain, girl. It's a pain monster. It's an anxiety monster. You got to fight them. You can't just let them be there and just say whatever they want to say and do whatever they want to do inside of you. Your feelings are there to serve you. They are not there to run you. Okay, you've got to take back over control. You've got to say, you know what? I can understand that I can be angry about this. Yes, I could. And I can do some things to alleviate a little bit of that anger. If you're feeling angry, a lot of the time that fight or flight kicks in. If you run around a little bit, get some exercise, burn off some of that adrenaline, burn off some of that anger, it will help. It will help tire you out, wear some of that off. I am all for breaking some stuff. Now, if you can't go to a rage room, my daughter saw that the other day. She was like, I want to go to a rage room. And I was like, sure, find one. We'll go. But if you can't find one of those where you can just go and get dressed up in a jumpsuit and break stuff all through the room, go to the thrift store. Get yourself something small, something. I always like the little delicate teacups and saucers that, okay, they don't have a match. They were all, it was only that one set. I get a few of those, and when I'm really, really, really mad, I go to breaking stuff. All right, so I can go outside and smash those little teacups into a million pieces, and it's super satisfying. All right, so try that. A little screaming into a pillow, that will work. Dancing your heart out, singing a song that makes you feel powerful, not one of those, oh, I hate men songs or he did me wrong songs. I mean, one of those, I feel good as a woman songs, and sing that at the top of your lungs and blast that music and dance around your house. There's lots of stuff that you can do to release those feelings. But the thing is, with the trauma, you want to hold on to it. And you have to recognize that the trauma is trying to hold on to it, and talk to your trauma, talk to your brain and say, hey, this anger is not serving us. I know that you want to help me. I know that you want me to feel like I am empowered, like nothing else could hurt me. So if I'm angry all the time, then, I feel like nothing else could hurt me. But the anger is hurting me. It is not helping with the situation. It does not make me feel good. And I am telling you, brain, I am choosing to put it down. I am choosing to replace it with better feelings. And then you proceed to do that. You consistently, every single time the anger rears its ugly head, you say, I get it. I totally understand why you're angry, but I am choosing to move on from that. I do not have to stay angry about this forever. I don't have to do that. Just because it hurt this bad doesn't mean that I have to stay angry about it forever and ever. I am forgiving for me so that I don't have this anger, so this anger doesn't eat me alive every single solitary day of my life because somebody hurt me. That's not even a way to live. Why do you have to suffer and be angry forever because he was an idiot? That's not fair to you. You shouldn't have to do that. So you talk to your brain about it. You tell your brain, hey, no, that is not what we are doing. All right, I'll let out some of this anger in a healthy way, but I am not going to sit here and be angry at my spouse, my partner, the person that I love, just because they were an idiot. They did me wrong. So does that make sense, Christina? Let me know. Destiny says, add smash things to the weekend list. I know that's right. Because, honey, it's something about it. You just got to make sure that you're standing back a good enough ways. Because if you smash it good enough, stuff is going to fly. So you just got to make sure, wear some long pants so that you don't cut up your legs. Because that's just going to make you really mad. But it's fun. It's good stuff. There's something about it. It just smashes into a million pieces. And it's like, okay, I can let it go now. All right, that's great, fabulous. I'm not big on breaking mirrors. I'm kind of superstitious, but in rage rooms they have mirrors. You can break mirrors and stuff. So yeah, save your goggles. Yes, yes. Destiny said, I just feel stuck because I don't feel like he's sorry. I feel like I know he's lazy and staying here is easier for this moment, but he doesn't want to actually be here. Not that I want to be here right this moment either. See, that you're projecting your feelings onto him. You're feeling ambivalent about it because that's part of the trauma. The trauma tries to keep you from making that decision. It says, well, no, I kind of want to be here, but then I really don't want to. I don't really want to feel, I don't want to have to deal with this. And so you keep going back and forth in your head. That's why the first step of the dreams formula is the D, to make that decision and go ahead and run with it, because then you have something to fight back against that negative side of your brain saying, well, no, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't stay. I don't know why you're doing this. You're like, no, I've already made my decision, brain. Thank you very much. I know what I'm doing. So if you make your decision, you might feel a little bit more certain about him making his decision because he hasn't gone anywhere. He's right there. You're like, oh, well, he's not sorry. He's sorry. Trust me. Living with an angry woman, he is definitely sorry. All right. But the thing is, you can't continue to have him be tortured either because he did the wrong thing. Yes, he did wrong, but if you did wrong, you wouldn't want to be made to suffer day in and day out just to say that you're sorry. That's abusive. That's not really a real remorseful feeling. That is, oh, I'm going to have to pay for it all the time anyway, so I'm definitely really sorry that I'm going through this because you're going to make me miserable every day. So then you turn it from being real remorse into being resentment. So he's sorry. He is. He's still there. He's right by your side. Lazy, you probably thinking that he's lazy because he's trying to just move on, right? Is that what it is? Let me know. Because a lot of the time, they do try and just move on and try and move forward. And that is how you get over stuff. You got to move forward. Okay, Christina, that makes sense? Good. Destiny, I do project, yeah, but I get no feedback, or maybe I just don't believe the feedback I've gotten. See, look at you uncovering stuff. See, look at you. I see you over there getting insightful for yourself. That if you're getting that feedback, but you don't want to believe it, then there's no point. You don't have to keep on trying to address it with him because that's within you. You are saying that, well, I'm not going to believe you anyway, so it's really no point to you even showing me or telling me anything because I'm not going to believe you. So let's work on believing it. Let's work on believing that he loves you, that he wants to be with you. What feedback is it that you're not believing? He said, nah, he's really lazy. like lazy about what? What's he lazy about? Because I'm kind of lazy. I don't cook very much. I don't clean very well. I'm kind of lazy. People could call me lazy, but I do a lot of stuff. I help a lot of people, but I'm a little lazy, yeah. Let me know what you mean by that. All right, this one is from Hope. Hey, Hope. Hope says, 2 months since D-Day. How do I get rid of this feeling that everyone thinks I'm stupid for staying with somebody who is meant to love you? How do I stop saying every time he says, I love you, that if you love me, you wouldn't have cheated? It's on my mind constantly. And all of the what ifs, I can't stop. It makes him cranky. He says he never thought like that. It was always in the moment, but he then tells me he would worry I find out, which isn't just in the moment thing. He'd obviously think of lies he would have to make or excuses, or would he just blank it all out? Okay, yeah, hold on. Let me start at the beginning. All right. So, okay, 2 months later, your feelings are still going to be a little bit out there, all right? Looks like you've gotten past the devastation phase and you're like into the regulation phase. You're trying to gather up all of your feelings. When this happened to you, you got devastated, all of your feelings got flung across the floor like marbles. Everything just kind of flew out here, and now you're trying to gather them all up. And that is totally normal. You are completely in the right place for where you are right now, all right? You're getting rid of that feeling like everybody else thinks you're stupid. It's just a matter of believing in your own choice. You love this person. He loves you. And you are willing, because of that love, because of the relationship you have, you are willing to say, I'm going to forgive you anyway. I know that you are wrong. I know that other people wouldn't be able to do this, but because of my feelings for you and because I love you, I am going to say I forgive you anyway. And forgiving is a huge part of love. You're going to have to forgive somebody that you live with an entire lifetime, okay? If you are trying to have an entire lifetime with a person, it is inevitable that they are going to require your forgiveness. It is also inevitable that you are going to be required to be the person who needs to be forgiven, okay? It is going to happen like that. You are not stupid for working it out. That has become a thing in the world lately that, oh, it's so dumb for you to stay and work things out and you should just walk away, you should just leave, and that should just be the automatic response. But that means that your feelings don't count. Only what other people say counts. And that's crazy. That's not any kind of way to live your life. I want you to recognize that you are doing what you want to do for yourself, for your life, and accept that whatever that means. If it means that people feel like it's stupid, if they feel like you're doing the wrong thing, that's fine. It's not their damn life. They don't have to agree with your choices. They don't have to think that you're having a good idea. You just have to follow through with it. And those are the people that you have to follow through and make sure that you show them at the end, hey, look, I told you that this was going to go down exactly the way I said it was. We were going to work this out. We were going to be happy. And look, here we are happy. I can do the same thing with my husband. I can look at all the people who told me to go ahead. You need to just leave. You need to just walk away. You're going to be treated like a doormat. He's going to treat you bad all your life. And I can look at all those people and say, you didn't know what the hell you were talking about, because that's not your husband. That's not your mate. You wouldn't know what you were talking about. But here, let me show you. We are great now. We are fine. Everything is cool. We are happy. We are trusting. We are loving. We are forgiven. We are there. And you didn't think that it was possible. So I was the one who was right, not you. So you've got to go ahead and decide that this is what you want to do, and then use all of that fear speech that they tell you, all of that negativity that they throw at you, use it as spite to go ahead and get through this and get to the other side so that you can say, I was right and you were freaking wrong, right? He said, how do I stop saying every time he says I love you that if you love me, you wouldn't have cheated? Okay, that's really nasty, okay? Don't do that. If he says I love you, say I love you too. Say thank you. Anything is better than if you love me, you wouldn't have cheated. And that's not even true. I know that feels like the truth, but that's not true. People love you deeply and can still cheat. That doesn't mean that they don't love you. So you're operating off a false assumption that, oh, he couldn't have really cared about me if he did this. But like they said, you can love God and still sin, okay? You can do the wrong things to somebody you love very deeply, okay? Even my own mama has hurt me and betrayed me in ways too. So I can't sit here and say, oh, well, she doesn't love me because she hurt me. No, that is not the case. You as a human being are capable of messing up, and they as human beings are capable of messing up too. That doesn't take their feelings for you away. It doesn't erase them. It doesn't make them invalid. Your brain is trying to tell you that as a way to try and make you back away and feel like you are isolated and feel like you do not have that love. But that love really is there. It must be there because you're willing to go through all this. You're willing to try and heal it. All right? Hey, Lori, I see you, Mama Khan. Oh, I just answered your question. Two over here. Mama Khan, I just answered you. Let's see. And then the what ifs. Follow the what if. Okay, here's a good tip for this week. Follow the what if. All right? Okay, well, what if this means that he really doesn't love me? All right, let's try that out. Let's test it out. Let's follow that what if. What if it does mean that he doesn't love me? Well, I would have been wrong about all of the love that I saw from him. And if this means that he really didn't love me and he never has, then we actually probably wouldn't even have been together if that was the truth, right? If that was the case, we wouldn't have been together. So you got to follow that what if. The what if, it always starts off and then it gives you another what if. Follow the what if to the end and see what it is. If you come to the end of it and it doesn't make any sense, there you go. Sorry. I tell you, man, allergies been kicking my butt. All right, but follow the what if. Your brain will keep lobbing those what if, what if, what if, what if, what if, and it'll keep you anxious on edge. So if you just stop that process and say, wait, okay, I'll follow this what if and follow it out to its logical conclusion. A lot of the time you'll find that it's not logical, and then you're like, oh well, never mind then. I guess that what if wasn't really important, and you don't need to keep asking him. You can sit with those what ifs, journal about it, write it down, and see where that thought will lead you. Okay? Hope that makes sense. And as far as lies, I mean, everybody lies when they're afraid. He did something wrong. He knew he was wrong, so he knew he had to lie about it. I'm sure he didn't just blank it all out. He's not a psychopath. It didn't just completely disappear from his brain. But he didn't think that there was a good way to tell you, I'm quite sure. So he was just like, okay, well then that's going to be separate. That's going to be my burden to bear. I have this secret. I have to have this on my heart, and I'm not going to trouble her with it. She is never going to have to worry about it. But, we always find out. So, they always think that they can keep it apart, keep it away from us, but they can't. All right, let's see. Hey Paula. Hi girl, glad to see you. So it's been a crazy couple weeks. I'm jumping in here. I'm past the forgiving, and actually we're good, better than prior to everything. Oh, I'm so glad for that. Good. What I'm struggling with is believing that this person just disappeared, gone, no contact whatsoever. I believe it, but my brain doesn't. Oh, a side note, I'm working crazy hours and I've missed you. Gosh, I've missed you too. I missed you at the last meeting. But yeah, your brain is going to sit there and lie to you, okay? You've got to accept the fact that your brain is not always going to tell you the truth. It will lie. It will sit there and tell you something that is absolutely not based in reality, just to try and ruin all the progress that you're making. Your brain does not like when you're starting to let those walls down and things are going well and you're opening yourself back up. It doesn't like that. Even though that is exactly what your consciousness wants. Your brain is afraid of that happening because, if we open ourselves up, we're going to be hurt again. Okay, you are going to be hurt again regardless. So you don't have to keep on listening to that, all right? And get like, yeah, okay, hurt is part of the human experience. I'm going to be hurt sometimes. But I can believe things that I can see with my own two eyes. I saw with my own two eyes. She's been gone. She's gone. She's not around. She's not here whatsoever. She is not in the vicinity. I do not believe that she is here. I understand, brain, that you are on alert for me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you trying to help me, but that is not a helpful thought. You sitting there telling me over and over again that she's not really gone and she's just going to be around forever and ever is making me sad. It's making me feel bad, and it's not helping me continue on my progress to actually heal. So I'm not going to believe that, brain. I know that he hasn't had any contact. She has not been around. I know that that's something that I can depend on right now. And just tell your brain what you want it to do and what you want it to believe. It will believe what you tell it to believe. Your brain is a very interesting organ. It is made up of all the experiences that you have. You get all of this input, and if you input into your brain, you can affect it. You can tell it what to do. You can steer it. But we got to decide that we're going to steer it. We got to decide that we can do that and actually do the work of telling our brain consistently what we want it to do. All right? That makes sense? Let me know. But I'm glad you're here with me tonight, Paula. Glad you're here. Let's see. Christina, our official wedding date is October 8th, 2023. I'm October 4th. Hey. We booked a place, been making payments. We got engaged in January when he asked. So I started a trucking business with him in February and brought him a semi truck so that he could make the kind of money I do. I emptied my savings for this, and he started cheating on me 2 months later till he got caught almost 2 months ago. It was his best friend's wife. Ooh, no, that wasn't nice. And she was also friends with me in my face, helping me plan my wedding, even in the wedding. I guess my question is, how could we be making all these plans and building a future together just to take a chance to destroy it all? I do feel sometimes that the only reason he is trying is because I've done all this for him and it's all in my name. And he's afraid to lose the life that I have helped him have. Women get really stuck on that. Men do not care about that. They'll walk away from anything. If they're not happy, if they don't want to be there, they will bail. It does not matter if everything is in your name. It doesn't matter if they won't have a thing left. If they don't want to be there, they leave. Okay, let's not even get all into, oh, well, he's just here trying to use me. No, if he didn't want to be there with you, if he wasn't interested in being with you, in loving you and being in with a relationship with you, he would not be. That's the first thing you need to understand. Men are not stuck because of obligations. They don't get all wrapped up in that like we do. Women, we tend to get way more wrapped up in, oh, I have this obligation, so I can't leave. I have to stay because of this obligation. They don't feel like that. If he didn't want to be there, he would just walk away. He would go. He could come up with this with somebody else. He could find out how to deal with the trucking business and all that stuff all by himself if he didn't want to be there. So don't reduce his love and his participation in the relationship to being, oh, well, he's just trying to use me. That's your brain messing with you. It's the trauma messing with you again, telling you that, oh, his love isn't real. His love isn't real like your love is real. That's what your brain is trying to tell you. This man has asked you to marry him. He loves you. He wants to be with you. You all are going for planning a wedding, but planning a wedding is a very stressful thing, and people do the wrong things when they're under stress. Getting married is a major life stressor that is covered under the sick. The sick reason for people doing this, for men cheating. It's sick, sad, and stupid. Sick counts for like the major life stressors that stress you out and actually change your body chemistry because you got a lot of stress going on. Planning a wedding is super stressful. It is. And he was stupid. Yes, he was. And he was, whatever he was feeling, he was willing to hurt his friend too. It wasn't just even about you. That was about him. There was something inside him that was wrong that made him decide that this was a good idea. Hurt people hurt people. That's what it always comes down to. There was something going on with him that was hurting inside of him that made doing all this, hurting all of you, seem like a good idea. So he didn't think that he was going to lose the relationship altogether. He didn't think that you were going to find out at all. So he was like, okay, well, I just have this secret. I have this burden to carry on, and she's not ever going to find out about it. It's not going to blow my relationship up because she's not going to know. That's what he was thinking. So he wasn't thinking that was the way it was going to go, that you were going to find out and you were going to maybe possibly cancel a wedding or any of that. He didn't think any of that was going to happen. He just was in his own pain, his own issue, and he wasn't thinking about what the consequences could have been. Let's see. Polly said, I like that reminder. It's not a helpful thought. Yeah, it's not. Tell you, that's not helpful. You are not helping me right now. I know you want to help me because that's your brain's whole thing is to try and help you. But if it's not helping, you just tell it, hey, that's not helpful. I don't need that particular thought. I don't need that. And it's like that with all the negative thoughts. People have all sorts of negative thoughts that just come into their brains. Okay, if you have babies, all right, did you have that weird thought of, what if I drop the baby out a window? Or what, you know what I'm saying? Like that weird thought that comes up to your head and you're like, oh my God, I would never do that. Why would you even think that? It is because our thoughts are automatic. And so all of the junk that goes around in our heads, sometimes weird stuff just plays out in our heads and we just hear this weird thought from nowhere like, what the hell did that come from? That didn't even make sense. There's no way that I could drop the baby out of the window. How could I do that? Because your brain will just make up some stuff every now and again. So tell your brain, hey, that's not a helpful thought. That is a very negative thought. I do not like that thought. That is not a thought that I'm going to continue to choose to dwell on. I am going to use this thought instead. I am a loving, caring mother. I take good care of my baby. You know what I mean? And it's like that for everything that goes on with this trauma too. You switch that thought around. Say, no, no, no. That is not what I'm planning on having happen here. Things are going well. Things are going good. I am happy. All right. Destiny, is there a replay of these available? Absolutely. Yes. All in the group. Everyone that I've ever done is in the group. I didn't start doing streaming to Instagram and to YouTube until about a year ago now. So all of those you can find like the last year or so on YouTube and on Instagram too. But yes, in the media section of the Love After Cheating group, just go to the media section and go to video, and all of my videos are in there. Let's see. All right, got that too. All right. Had more questions. Such good questions today. Donna said, my husband spends a lot of time and energy wallowing in self-pity and is emotionally unavailable for me. Once he recovers from his funk, he wants a break from dealing with me and my constant triggers, and is often enraged if I have problems I want to talk to him about. I find that I'm in the cycle of his needs still being the priority, and I am not getting the support I need. He is often angry and has ended the relationship and fights constantly since D-Day. 3.5 years. That's why he's mad. That 3.5 years ago, that's why he's mad. Because you are beating him over the head with something that has happened 3.5 years ago. You are still there. You're triggered and you want him to fix it. It's 3.5 years later. You gotta start working on your own triggers, okay? Okay, no full disclosure. No, don't do that. Though he claims he's working on it. Every time I try to enforce boundaries, he pushes past and makes more serious ultimatums and leaves me always disempowered. For example, he is rude and uncaring about a trigger, so I say I would like for him to sleep in the spare room. Oh, no. But he will flip and pack bags and leave for good. Enough's enough. Well, yeah, you would say the same thing, Donna, really, honestly. If it was 3.5 years later, you did something terrible to him, but it's 3.5 years later and he is still beating you in the head about it, you would say that you were in an abusive situation. You would say that your relationship is abusive, and you would say that he is abusive for continuously bringing it up, and that he will never forgive you and you will never forgive each other, and it will just never be okay. That's what you're saying. If you're continually bringing it up, beating him in the head with it 3.5 years later, you're saying it's never going to be enough. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what you say, because I will never, ever let it go. And yes, he's angry and he's in self-pity and emotionally unavailable, because you are too. You are wallowing. You are wallowing in self-pity and you are emotionally unavailable because all you're thinking about is your feelings. If this were reversed, you would not like it. You would feel hopeless and helpless, and you would be ready to just throw your hands up, because you would be so enraged every single solitary time he threw it in your face again. You would be so enraged, you'd be ready to divorce him. So seriously, you got to stop. Donna, at the end of this, I'm going to put my link up to talk to me, to get on a call with me. You need to get on a call with me. We need to work this out, Donna, because this is too long you've been suffering. You need some help like now to stop this. I don't want you to keep on going with this and feeling so bad about this. This misery. This is misery. 3.5 years of this is too much. You shouldn't have to go through this anymore. So definitely, I'm going to put it in the comments after this, and I'm going to post it underneath your comment too. All Right, because we got to get out of this. We got to stop doing the same things. If the same thing is not working over and over and over again, you got to try something different. All right. Is this endurable, and what can I do? He's a sex addict and is in no formal support group. You can get better without a formal support group. You just have to learn proper sexual behavior. You have to know what is the proper thing to do and what is not. And if he knows that cheating is bad, so he maybe doesn't even need a support group for that. He just needs to do the right things. Mama Khan, you said sorry, you sports. Oh, girl, that's all right. Whenever you get here, you see I'm still on. It's like 9:30. And he said, is full disclosure good or not good to do? It's not. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. I know you want it. I know that your brain is screaming for it, but it's not going to help you. You sitting there having page after page of details about where his lips were and where his hands were and what they did and what they shared and what he thought. It's just going to make you miserable. It is going to cloud up your brain and get in your way of healing. It's going to be a big old roadblock because every time you start making progress forward, your brain is going to be like, oh no, the hell you don't, and it's going to throw one of those details and hit you in the head, and then you're going to be mad all over again, and all of the progress is going to go poof because that's what your brain wants it to do. So I say don't do it. All of that information in the full disclosure thing, I think that that's unhealthy. I don't think that is a good thing to do. Talking about trauma re-traumatizes you. Having a whole book of trauma to sit there and read and go through and flip through and go back, it's just going to be bad for you, okay? Our marriage counselor wants him to do it. Do you want him to do it, though? Do you really need to know all that? I know that I know that counselors have been all into that. No, well, you got to tell the honest truth, but it's just going to make you suffer. Like, why do you have to suffer more? Why should you have to? You already know the worst of it. You already know what has happened. Why do you have to have all of that detail in your brain? Why do you have to have that? Like, what is that going to do for you? What good is it going to serve you that you have all of that information in your brain now? Okay, yeah, he told all the truth. And then you still won't know if he told all the truth. You'll still be sitting there like, well, is there anything else? Or let me get details about this. And you're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's just going to be misery. I say don't do it. I say, I know. And if you're working with a counselor, I understand trying to do what your counselor is telling you, but I don't think that it's going to be helpful for you. Ask your counselor, what exactly is this supposed to do for me? How is this going to help me? Having this information in my head, having it on paper so that I can always go back and read it over and over and over again. What is that going to do to help me? Maybe it's not as bad as my brain is inventing. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If your brain is inventing misery, okay, that's one thing. You can just go ahead and believe whatever you want to. But then if your brain is like feeding off of real life information, it's just going to lead to more misery. It's just going to keep on beating you in the head. It's just going to keep on randomly as you're walking through your day, you're going to think about details of it. And oh yeah, let me go back and read it again. And then you're going to just keep on re-traumatizing yourself. And maybe it's not as bad as your brain is inventing. If that is the case, believe whatever it is that your brain is inventing and just move like that. Just go ahead and go for it. Be like, okay, that's as worse as it could possibly be, but I'm not feeding myself all of the details so that my brain knows exactly what it is and I never get rid of those pictures. Does that make sense? I know everybody gets so into the whole full disclosure thing. I get it. I was there too. I want to know all the information, all the details, and it just made me feel like crap. So everybody that I talked to, they're like, yeah, it didn't help. Yeah, I know all the information now. Now my brain is just like, here's a reminder of this awful thing that happened. And now I got to deal with fighting with my brain, and I'm fighting to try and forgive him too. Oh, Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. Seriously, I don't feel like it's a good idea. I feel like it is leading you away from the healing path. But check with your therapist. Ask them, okay, what exactly am I supposed to get out of this besides a whole bunch of details that my brain didn't know, but now they know, and so now my brain is using that against me. Like, what do I need to do? Like, what is that going to help? I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't try to do it. All right. Let's see. Paula, he said, I know I'm responsible for my own healing, and I'm not doing this going into the new year. I don't understand holding on to something for years. What a waste of time. Yeah, you gotta let it go. Yeah, I gotta let it go. You are capable of letting it go. You don't have to hold on to this for years. You don't have to do that. You can tell your brain what you want it to do. You don't have to hold on to the pain forever. You don't have to hurt over this forever. The place in my chest where it used to hurt so bad is not there anymore. It does not hurt. None of this. It used to be so painful I could barely swallow, and now it's nothing. There's no pain in that spot. And that was because I consistently worked on getting on the healing path, staying on the healing path, moving forward, not stuck in the past, not continuously thinking about the negative things that have happened, but focusing on the positive relationship that me and him have and how we love each other and how we're going to make our lives what we want them to be. So, yeah, don't get stuck on the past, girl. Go forward. Destiny, I know that's right, girl. Hey, it said, Polly said deleting everything was the best decision I made. Honey, yeah, I am fully for that. I have a service, okay? I'm going to tell you about my little service here. Now, if you want to get rid of that information, you can give it to me. I have cloud storage where you can have it. It will still be there. And for $1, I will take it from you, and you will not be able to look at this information anymore. However, if you want to get it back, if you were like, okay, I do want to go back over this detail. I want to see what he said about her. I want to see what the picture looked like, the video. Okay, I will give it back to you, but it's going to cost you $100 to get it back. All right. I call it the oubliette. All right. The place of forgetting. You give me $1, I will give you a place to forget about this stuff. I will go ahead and store it. It will be in existence. It will still be in existence. I will not erase it. But to get it back, you have to pay more. If you want to hurt yourself, doggone it, I'm going to make you pay for wanting to hurt yourself. Right? So if you want to get something in oubliette, let me know. I will definitely go and put the stuff into my digital storage, and it will be away from you so that you can't keep going through it. But if you do want to get it back, you're going to have to pay the $100 fee to get it back to be able to hurt yourself some more. All right? Y'all let me know if you need the oubliette. All right? All right. Doggone it, there was more questions. Oh, shucks. Almost forgot. Let me go over here. All right. One more set. All right. Let's see. We got Carolyn. Okay. Struggling to stay solid on my decision to stay. Every time I get upset, I think, nope, I want out, and I struggle to think of the good, but when I am not having a moment, I do want to try and make it work. Just want to try and stop going back and forth, as I don't think it's helping. We'll watch on replay. Well, hi, hashtag replay, so I know you got me. But the decision, okay. When you're in your right mind, when you're in your good moments, when you're feeling okay, your decision is made. The only time you're having problems with the decision is when your emotions get all volatile. So what you just have to realize is, okay, my emotions are telling me this, but that's not what I want. My emotions are saying that, oh, just leave and walk away, and you shouldn't even have to go through this. And I shouldn't have to go through this, but I've already made the choice that that's what I'm going to do. When I am reasonable, when I am sensible, when I am not being taken over by the emotion, I have already made that decision. So you just have to keep reminding yourself of that. You have to keep going back to that and be like, wait, I've already made this decision. There is no need for me to sit here and stress about whether or not I'm staying because I've already decided that I'm going to stay. And you just talk yourself through it. You keep on telling yourself in that moment, you are just having a moment. You have already made this decision. You are past this point. You are already past the decision part of the dreams formula. You are already past the decision part of the healing. You already know what you want. So there's no need for you to get all confused by your feelings. Your feelings will confuse you sometimes if you're not paying attention, but you've already made a decision. And so you go ahead and just stick with your decision. Okay. That makes sense, T. Caroline? Just talk to yourself about it. Elishka, honey, okay, you said, all right, how to deal with losing hope that things will take a turn for the better. We're both trying, but neither of us is happy, and we can't seem to agree on the steps that would take for us to be where we want to be. I just feel down and hopeless. I keep journaling and individual counseling, which helps, but I'm in a rut. Elishka, 4 weeks ago, you had made super deep progress. You had gotten to the point where you were able to sleep together again, and you hadn't been able to do that since D-Day. You hadn't trusted him enough, and you all were trying to move back in together, weren't you? That was only 4 weeks ago. You're like losing hope when you're just trying to have an even time right now. You've already made tremendous progress for the better. I know you've been with me since at least like the beginning of the year, and you were at the point where you couldn't even deal with him at first. You are way beyond that. Stop giving yourself a hard time and recognize every other step that you have come through. You all go on vacations together. You are having great times together. You're back sleeping together. You're back having sex together. You have been working on things to make it better. It's just the fact that you've been having this good times that now your brain is like, no, I don't want to have good times. It's bad. That's all it is. It's your brain messing with you. And then you're pulling away from him. And so then he's unhappy with that too. Just recognize that you have been having great times, that you have made tremendous progress over this last 9 months. And you don't have to worry so hard about things taking a turn for the better anymore. You all have gotten way better than you were before, and you've been enjoying each other. So just enjoy. And as your brain is just trying to freak out over the fact that you all are having good times together, tell it. Be like, hey, you need to sit down somewhere. We have been having wonderful times together. Things have been going well. What turn for the better are you expecting, brain? What are you expecting to happen besides all of the wonderfulness that has happened? You even did a whole video about how it has gotten better. It is better. Your brain is playing a trick on you right now. That's what it is. You even did the video and said how hopeful you feel, how great that you were feeling. I promise you, this is just your brain messing with you because you've made so much progress. It gets afraid when you are making all this progress and getting so close, and then it doesn't want you to continue on with that. But you just keep on going forward. You keep on doing everything that you have been doing. You will keep on getting happier and happier. It will continue to work just like it has worked all of these months that you've been working on it, okay? Don't feel bad, Alicia. You're not in a rut. You are not in a rut. You have been steadily making progress for months. Okay? You have been doing it. Don't give yourself a hard time, all right? Lourdes says, I have forgiven him and I'm ready to move forward. However, I just found out that he hasn't forgiven himself. He says that he is uncomfortable with his forgiveness. I just don't know how to handle that situation. You let him handle that. You let him go ahead and sit with that. You just be forgiving. If that is where you are, you just accept that that is where you are. Don't worry about him, because if he's not ready to be forgiven yet, okay, that's fine. But you still are forgiving because forgiveness is not for him, it is for you. So try and remind him of that. Let him know, look, I'm forgiving you for me. It's not to try and make you feel like you didn't do anything wrong. I am forgiving because I love you and I want to forgive you. you can get the forgiveness for yourself. That's cool. Take your time, but that doesn't have anything to do with my forgiveness. All right. Does that make sense? Y'all let me know. Let's see. Polly had your 28th anniversary. Congratulations. I thought it would be awful. I know, it just seems like that, doesn't it? But we celebrated still being together and working through this. Nothing crazy, just a day together. Good job. You celebrate everything that you can celebrate. That is, again, creating those good memories instead of just dwelling on the bad ones. Yeah, bad stuff has happened. That doesn't mean good things are not consistently happening in our lives, that we don't have good reason to celebrate. You have made it. You made it another year. You made it another trip around the sun together. All right? It is fine to go ahead and celebrate that and be happy about that. It really is. And I'm happy for you. I'm glad. All right. Got one more. Luciana, let's see. Ooh, this is a little long. Okay. Ow. Dang. Luciana is a scammer. Okay, Mr. Destiny. All right, let me remove that. All right, so that's about it for the questions then. Fabulous. All right, y'all got any other questions for me? Comments, thoughts, complaints? Anything that you wanted to talk about? Anything that was on your mind? After I get off of here, I will post the link to get on a Zoom call with me. If you have not gotten on a Zoom call with me, come talk to me. I want to help you, okay? I do not want you to suffer anymore. You shouldn't have to suffer anymore for this. You've got to get on the healing path, and you need to get on it now. And if you haven't talked to me yet, trust me and believe. Anybody that has talked to me, let them know that I'm telling the truth. But if you sit there and you talk to me, you do a Zoom call with me, you're going to feel better by the end of the call, okay? You're going to feel better. Every single person tells me that. They're like, dang, I really do feel better. Somebody told me today that they were anxious about talking to me, but she was like, I'm really glad I really talked to you. She's like, I feel really good. She said, I don't even feel as good after I go to therapy. And I was like, yes, that's what I'm going for. But you're going to feel better. You're going to know what you need to be doing, like right this second, to start the healing process, to get on the healing path. And I'm going to help you with it. I want you to come talk to me, all right? So if you're not already in one of my programs, if you're already in one of my programs, just message me. I'll respond to you. But if you have not been in one of my programs, if you have not had a call with me yet, get on a call with me. Sign up for a Zoom call. I'm going to expand it out. I'm going to give it an extra couple of weeks to do some Zoom calls. And then by the time I'm done with those, it'll be time for a challenge. We're going to do a challenge next month. So I haven't done a challenge in so long. I'm so excited because I had, the whole moving thing. I was stressed about that. And so we hadn't done any challenges. So we are going to do a challenge next month. All right. Stay tuned about that. And we are definitely going to get in there. All right. Let's see. Christina said, I have been giving my man more sex than he can handle. I told him if he wanted a hoe, I could be his hoe, but that he didn't need anyone else. All he ever had to do is come to me for anything because I'm that girl for him. Well, yes, but don't be like doing it just because you're like, oh, I don't want you to have sex with anybody else. I just want you to think about me all the time. You have sex that you are comfortable with. Don't be having it just because you're trying to prove a point to him. Have sex because you're happy to have sex, okay? Paula said, thank you for being you. You're so welcome. I have never felt more me than I do now. It is very interesting. I feel like I was called to be a nurse. I feel like that was a calling. I feel like, I was like chosen for that. But I didn't want to be that type of healer for like the rest of my life because it's a very stressful job. And I liked to be able to help couples. And now, like, I get to be a healer, but It's not, life or death now. It's all about your heart. And I love encouraging love. I love helping people be in their relationships. And I feel really very much myself now. It's a very interesting feeling being able to do what I'm supposed to do out here in the world and help the people that I'm supposed to help out in the world. I feel very much like myself. So I am glad that you all appreciate me being me. Okay. Says Paula, I totally need to set up our Zoom. I feel so empowered after our conversation. Oh yes, we need to have our next meeting anyway. Paula's in my foundations group. It's gonna be the After Infidelity Mastermind, but she's there with me. And Paula, tell them about it. It's good stuff. It's good stuff with the meetings. We got the group meetings, and you get the one-on-one with me. It's good stuff. Destiny, definitely need program information. Destiny, I'm gonna post right here the link to sign up for a Zoom meeting with me. Click on that, sign up for a Zoom meeting. I'll tell you all about it. All right. And Paula, love the programs. Highly recommend and great investment for yourself. That's what I'm saying. It's not coming from me. It's coming from the people that are in the groups with me. All right. In my programs, we are working on this stuff. The foundations group, which is going to be the After Infidelity Mastermind, it's going to be all about getting those feelings together, regulating them, getting yourself on the path. It's a whole 60 days of, okay, you want to talk about it? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it in a group. We're going to talk about it one-on-one. You can text with me. You can message me. You can do all of that type of stuff. So it is a great thing to have under your belt so that you have other people that you can talk to about this. Instead of talking to like friends and family who are going to be judgy, let's talk to people who are like, hey, look, I totally understand exactly what you're doing. Yes, I want to go ahead and continue down this path, and I see that other people are doing it, and it's possible to do. I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who has stayed and has been fine afterwards. Okay, I'm not the only one, but I'm going to try and make as many women in that category as I possibly can this year, this decade. In the 20s, I'm going to try and make it so that all women feel like they can stay in their relationships if they feel like it. If that's what they want to do, then we should be able to do that. We should all be able to do exactly what we want to do in the relationships that we have. All right. Whoo. All right. I guess that's about it. I guess that's about all I got for you today. I absolutely love talking to every one of you. And let's get a affirmation going on here. Now remember, when I say affirmation, anything that you say to yourself is an affirmation. Whatever you tell your brain, whether it be positive or negative, is an affirmation. You are affirming that thing when you tell yourself. So instead of telling yourself negative things, you must be mindful about telling yourself positive things so that you will consistently be telling your brain a positive message that your brain can fall back on and say, okay, yeah, the last time I heard from her, she said positive, she said go this way. That's what we're going to do. And you're going to have your brain come under control. I do affirmations every single solitary day, okay? I do them in the car after I drop my husband off. Like I got to go to physical therapy tomorrow morning, and on my way to physical therapy, I'm doing the affirmations. You must be consistently telling yourself positive things in order for your brain to believe them. So let's give you an affirmation to work on this week. Oh, that's a good one. Today I am loved. Oh, today I will know in my heart that I deserve love and respect. Today I am loved. Today I am loved. Today I will know in my heart that I deserve love and respect. All right? So even if you can only remember that first part, today I am loved. Keep that in mind and remind yourself you deserve to be loved. You are a lovable creature. You just go ahead and be that lovable creature as much as you possibly can in spite of the pain that you have been through, okay? All right, y'all, that's about it for today. Thank you so much for joining me for the Healing Hour Live or the Healing hour and 45 minutes live. So glad that you were all with me today. Thank you all for coming like every week. I love being here with you. If you want to get on a Zoom call, give me a couple of seconds. I'm going to put this under the comments, and I'm going to put it in my link tree on Instagram. And I do want to talk to you, so make sure that you make an appointment with me. And I'll be back again next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday night, for the Healing Hour Live. In the meantime, don't do what the fear tells you to do, and love and forgive. All right? All right, y'all. I'll talk to you again next week. Bye.